Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
What are some ways that you think that the trucking industry needs to change right now?
The trucking industry has a lot of work to do. There's a lot of things that could change to make it better. I think one thing would be to get rid of all the ELD logs. The ELD log system, I think, is just causing more problems than it's causing solutions. It's just something that I think they need to deregulate. Another thing that they could change in the trucking industry right now would be all of the safety systems that they put on these trucks nowadays. They're just a little bit too much. They're dangerous. I feel like a human knows better when it's going to be getting in a wreck and when there's a problem than the computer does. We're relying on sensors and cameras and all kinds of stuff, and that stuff acts up. You know, if there's a wreck or if there's not any trucks on the highway 20, 30 miles in front of you, and all of a sudden this system sees something or triggers a sensor and it starts braking really hard and you're on black ice, you know, that's more dangerous, I think, than it's helping. Other stuff that we need to change in the trucking industry, some of you guys could agree with me, is freight brokering has gotten out of hand, and there needs to be some very strict regulations on the freight brokers or get rid of them altogether. Freight brokers are really causing a major problem in this industry, and somebody needs to be watching over them and regulating them and holding them accountable for bad behavior. And if there's some other things I can think of that needs to change in the trucking industry to make it more healthy, I would say massive amount of regulations on CARB and CARB compliant trucks has gotten out of control. And I think Trump or the FMCSA and EPA, really the EPA and Trump may be changing a lot of this stuff, and we're hoping for that for the future. These DEF and DPF filters and everything that they're doing for these greenhouse gases are really putting a strain on the trucking industry, and some of that stuff needs to go away, of course. They are tightening up on some of the individuals that are driving that cannot speak the English language, and of course that's another good thing. But these are all a lot of good points of things that could change in the trucking industry. You know, less of these safety regulations and safety apparatuses on trucks like collision mitigation could make their jobs easier. Getting rid of the ELDs would be very good and actually better for safety, I believe. Less regulation on the emissions. Have a little bit of regulation, but not as aggressive as it has been. And yeah, making sure that the streets are safe from people that cannot speak English and can't read the signs and all that is very important. So if there's any other ideas that you guys have, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'd love to see them. Thank you very much.